not a nice way of saying that, but all right. It's setting up the meeting. And we're live. Hello, everyone. Let's see. I just want to make sure it's working. Oops. I can hear myself. Let's turn it up. Okay, great. It's definitely working. All right. So everyone, I'm so excited. This is somebody that I have worked with and I trust, and she makes SEO seem like a normal conversation instead of gobbledygook tech stuff. So I'm really excited that Cinthia Pacheco of Digital Bloom IQ is here. Cinthia is the owner and founder of Digital Bloom IQ, a digital marketing agency specializing in SEO who help female founders grow their businesses and change the world. She and her team are incredibly passionate about assisting female entrepreneurs in making an impact and partnering with their clients to reach more people who are already searching for them online. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? After 5 years of corporate working with companies like Avon, Sears, Hyundai, she transitioned into the small business world, focusing on creating a digital marketing agency that specializes in SEO and Google Analytics services. She is on a mission to inspire female-owned businesses to be more intentional about their SEO marketing and share more of their healing talents. And when she's not working, you can find her playing with her daughter, hanging out with her boyfriend, or watching Gilmore Girls on the couch. Welcome, Cinthia. I'm so excited that you're here.
No, it's quite a bio. And you recently had to read that because we did the podcast, right?
I know, I'm kind of a pro at it now.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. I'm going to make sure to put all her links in this recording when it's done in the caption area. So if you're looking at all the different ways that you can work with her, hint, hint, she just launched a new group coaching situation that I'm a part of, and I find it so incredible, so impactful on my business, and I actually get shit done. So I'm very excited about it. I'm gonna let you take it away at this point.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
And we can just dive right in. And we can definitely do Q&A at the end. I'm here for it because there's so much we could talk about. I mean, that podcast episode ended up being two episodes. Right?
I mean, yes, it had to be a two-parter because it was valuable, and I've gotten compliments on it. So amazing. Good. I'm gonna let you take it away, we'll go ahead, and I'm just gonna get all the questions that I've gotten ahead of time ready as well.
Perfect. All right. So welcome to this training. So we're going to be learning a beginner's routine to attracting your dream clients around SEO. And my goal is that you walk away with some steps, right? Because I'm going to be sharing a few things, but also just a clear understanding of where SEO plays into your marketing. I feel like for a lot of my clients and students, they know they want to do SEO. They know they kind of need to be doing it, but they don't know where to start. And they're just overwhelmed by all the information. So I'm hoping that this kind of gets you taking action, whatever it is, right? And the routine that I share at the end, hopefully will just give you that next step you need. So quickly, we're going to cover what is SEO. If you've heard of it, you're like, what is that? We'll talk about that. We're going to get through kind of this flow of bringing awareness to your SEO, creating a plan and executing, and also tracking progress. And then at the end, I'm going to share a sample SEO routine that you can just take action and get started right away. And then I have a little surprise just for Jen's community at the end, just a little thing that I want to share with you guys. So yes, you guys know me now. I'm Cinthia. I'm the owner and founder of Digital Bloom IQ. And we just have a special mission around female founders because especially women, SEO is a very male dominated space. And there's it just feels very masculine sometimes. And there are parts of SEO that can feel very technical. However, people are looking for you on Google, people who already need what you have. So why not show up, right? Why not show up? And I feel like I was just talking with someone yesterday, like our clients are like totally invested in their social media. But when it comes to SEO, there's a lot of like, they've had bad experiences or like spammy and it feels weird. And I'm here to change the game around that. I want SEO to feel as easy as any other part, or, maybe not easy, but you know what I mean? Like something you're totally committed to. Because like I said, there's a lot of people who you're not reaching through social media, and we want to reach the people who are looking for us, right?
Yeah, I found it very hard. And so I kept putting it off. And until I did your course, I didn't realize how much sense it actually made and how much it helps grow on Google, which just shows your information to so many more people. Like it's a no-brainer situation, but in the beginning, it was just something I put off. And I have a feeling a lot of people feel like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm here to I'm friendly, I'm happy face, like a lot of people are like, oh, you're just happy and friendly. And like, that's the idea, like SEO, it gets to be that, right? And it doesn't have to be this heavy thing that you keep avoiding and it's just not doing anything good for your business. All right. So what is SEO? So SEO stands for, I never update this slide. So it's actually search engine optimization. I don't know why it says search marketing optimization. So the E is engine. And that sounds very technical because Google created an engine for search basically. But all it is it's the act of making your site and your online presence more human and Google friendly. And it's important to note that the human comes first. So we're really creating helpful sites that can get found by humans because the humans are the ones we want to impact, right? So when we do talk about an algorithm change or something like that, it's because we really want to impact that human at the end of the day. And even Google tells us that. They keep coming back to like, don't listen to us. I guess they say it in a weird way. They're kind of like, we want you guys to create great content. What do humans need, right? So they keep coming back to that, and it feels kind of like weird because again, on a lot of other platforms and in SEO too, we're like obsessed with the algorithm when instead we need to be obsessed with helping humans, right? And I want to remind you that currently 2023, there are 8.5 billion searches per day in Google. That's a lot. If we even had like a tiny fraction of that, I think we'd all be doing fabulous in our businesses. So that opportunity is there. And again, the difference, and I have lots of content, I'm not going to dive into it today, but the difference is that if we compare it to something like Instagram, is that someone looking for you on Google is already ready to buy. And that does make a big difference. In many cases, they're already ready. Sometimes there is like a journey there, but that's very, very different. In Instagram, it's like, it could, they're building this relationship or there's like, anyway, it can be just very different, the intention of the person finding you on Google. And if we think about the benefits of SEO, it's not enough nowadays to have a pretty website. I mean, it's great to have pretty things, but in the short term, you want to think about your SEO as an active part of your marketing plan, and it's attracting leads, it's getting you sales. Like I just said, it's people who we can focus on areas of your SEO with people who are already ready to buy. And long term, it complements your other marketing, right? So if we think about our marketing as different types of investment, SEO can take longer. And so we want to start sooner so we can start to see those results. And I have many clients who come back to me. It's been 2 years since we worked on a page and that same page is getting them sales. It's kind of crazy. Of course, they update things, they make changes. It's not like they're doing nothing. They're active business owners, but that seed was planted and it just keeps giving them that fruit. And it's really exciting to see that. All right. So the first step of your SEO routine is really building awareness. And this on its own can be very powerful because just knowing where you're ranking right now, how your website is loading, stuff like that can start to give you ideas of how you can improve your SEO. So for example, one part of SEO is technical. So what that means is your site is built out of code. And so Google loads that site and understands what your site's about. And one of the things that Google looks at is, how is the site being used? And is it a helpful and easy experience? So if you have a page that's taking over 5 seconds to load, Google notices that. So you could have the best content in the world, but if you have kind of a unhelpful experience, that can impact your SEO. So questions like, how long does it take my site to load? Do I have any broken links or deleted pages that people are getting to my site and there's nothing there? And just how is that experience, right? So if you think about your website as your online home, you invite someone over and they can't get to the bathroom because there's like a wall or there's like stuff they have to jump over. Not cool, right? And you could have the best, I don't know, food in your home, but you can't get to the bathroom, not comfortable. So that kind of thing is important. And if you're not technical, that's totally okay. There's some parts of this you can learn, like the basics, just like Jen. Jen's not a web developer, but she's learned a lot of the technical SEO, the basics, right? And then eventually you could decide, do I have a web developer who I, hire 1 hour per month to help me with some stuff? Another area that's easier to, if you're not technical, to take action on and to gain awareness on is your keywords and content. So keywords are basically words or phrases that your ideal client is using on Google to find you and to solve the problems of their life, right? So we've all been there. It's 4 a.m. and we're searching for something on our phones, right? We don't even think about it anymore. It's like our phones are our like thing, right? And so we search for information, we search for solutions, we search for ideas. And so you want to connect with what are those words that people are using when they're looking for something that you can particularly help them with. And so this is about understanding those words. And I'm going to talk about some tools in a little bit you can use to start to gain awareness around your keywords. But it's really about using that as inspiration for the content you're creating for your website and for the rest of your content plan. Like this could go into your social media planning, your email planning, everything. And so once you understand what people are searching, you can start to create content on your site that has those words, and more importantly, has useful content that they actually want to read. And then the last part that you want to gain awareness around is authority. And this is kind of like a newer part of SEO because it's taken you Google a few years to really be able to build technology that tells them this. But the idea is that if you are someone who doesn't, like if your website doesn't get any links from other sites, if you're never mentioned and you're kind of like this island, maybe by accident, it's going to be hard to rank. And so you could do all the keyword stuff, but if you're not actively building that authority, it's like Google doesn't see you as a relevant resource, right? Versus if you're like in the middle of a city where all other people are talking about you and you're being mentioned and stuff like that. So how do we do this? So basically there's ways that we can invite these collaborations, invite these links and these other sites to link back to us. So here the awareness is, how are other websites and brands talking about me right now? Do I get mentions? Do I have traffic from other sites? And again, this is just an initial awareness. Maybe some of you are already wanting to move to action, but this awareness on its own is like, could be a whole job, right? Just gaining this part. And so once you have that awareness, and this is the part maybe a lot of you get stuck, is like you want to take action on all of it, but no, we're busy people. The only way you could take action on a lot of it at once is probably hiring an SEO agency. But if you're doing this on your own, what I recommend instead is to set a priority for the next 90 days. So just choose one area and say, I want to focus on this area because I feel like this area is going to get me more traction based on my goals. So this could be the authority building. This could be the keywords. This could be technical, right? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to think about how available are you, right? So this is really designed for someone who's doing all the things in their business. If you have a team, you can also look at, could I delegate this to someone? Do I have a VA? But how much time do you have in the next 90 days? Like an hour a week, an hour every 2 weeks, 2 hours a day. And so based on this, you can kind of like create a plan that caters to that. And then the plan is just going to be a set of actions that looks to improve that. So for example, if it's the technical, you would look at where are the broken links on my site and let's fix them. And so that's just you going in every day and fixing them, right? For the keywords and the content, that's researching keywords and then creating content. It's a little more detailed, and I have actually a keyword routine at the end of this that you guys can use. But again, you'll create that plan and then you're going to take action on it. And what's really important here is getting accountability. And this is something that we do in the SEO membership, like Jen mentioned, is you guys get accountability every single month, all with everything. Because I even avoid my own SEO. Surprise. I don't know why. I think it's because it's a task that requires kind of like a single focus. But it's not hard. That's a crazy thing. It's just about sitting down and doing it. And that's as easy as it is, right? And then the last step, I didn't put step 3 here, but this is the third step, is tracking your progress. So these are 2 tools that are kind of like foundational that, again, I teach inside of the course that you get access to inside the membership, because these tools are free and they tell you exactly what you need to know in order to track the progress of your site. So one is the Search Console. Again, it's a Google tool, and it just tells us how many clicks am I getting to my site, how much impressions means how your site is being loaded in the search results. So if you have a lot of impressions, that means you have a lot of opportunity to rank, right? So every time it's hard to explain, but basically every time the search result loads and your site is there, that's an impression. So it's kind of like an availability, right? An opportunity. And that doesn't matter where you are. Impressions also tells us how much that search is being used. So it's kind of an indicator of search per month, but it's more like opportunity to me. And then position is, what page of Google are you on? Are you on page 1? Are you on page 50? Or page 100? And so that can be helpful because you can see, hey, I've had this happen multiple times. Hey, I'm on page 1. Like, I didn't know, right? And sometimes it's your name, right? You're getting searched by your name and you're on page 1, of course. The Search Console also gives us keywords like your top keywords, your top blog posts, and just any other pages on your site that are ranking. And then Google Analytics gives us similar data, but with a different lens. So we see specifically from SEO, like how many sessions, how many visits we're getting, how many users or visitors, what are those visitors doing? So are they signing up for our email newsletter once they come from Google? Are they actually buying something? So you can track all this and you can configure Google Analytics to track this for you. And it really gives you a high level view of all your marketing, not just SEO. So highly recommended to set that up one way or another. Okay, so here's a sample SEO routine. And I actually took this directly from the SEO course. So you guys are getting like real content here. Not that the presentation wasn't real, but it's a little more detailed. So I was almost not going to share it because I didn't want to overwhelm you, but I was like, they can handle it. So if we were thinking about, an SEO routine, specifically around keywords or content, this is kind of the workflow for month 1. And so again, inside the course, I have like a full workflow and we go into it in much more detail. But basically in the first month, you look at your goals for the quarter because you want to align what you're going to be doing with SEO based on what you're selling, right? And this is a big deal because I think a lot of you are like, I should just do SEO. And you're not thinking, okay, how is SEO going to work for me based on what I'm actually selling this quarter, right? It's important. Then we're going to market research. And so based on what you're selling, you could do specific market research around that and just target one area of the problem that your audience is experiencing. and you're going to do keyword research around that topic. So it gets quite granular. And Jen knows all about that, right? And you're going to choose a keyword. So you're going to choose keywords based on your plan. So if you're doing 1 blog post a month, then you do 3 keywords, right? Or if you're doing more or less, you can kind of cater that. And then part 2 here is you map out your blog post for 3 months based off your keywords and your marketing plan and everything. You start to draft your content outline. So this is just month 1. So imagine if you did all this when you jumped into actually doing SEO, things would be a lot easier because you just have this plan mapped out, right? It's done. You have your content outline, and then you start to write your blog post. So what I usually do and what we do in the membership is we have a writing community writing session that we get together each month. We sit down for an hour, and I am blown away by how much writing we get done. Like I usually blog 1 whole blog, which these aren't tiny blog posts. These are like 2,000 word blog posts. So to me, this is just like the clarity of the execution. And so you can either batch or you can do it monthly, like whatever works for you. And then the last step is going back and just doing a little bit more of keyword refinement and that on-page SEO, which is something we're doing this month in the membership. We're getting more into SEO, on-page SEO. So those are that's my SEO routine, and I'm happy to share this presentation after as well. And just a little surprise, I just decided this today. I decided that anybody who signs up today for the SEO membership, and we'll put in Jen's affiliate, gets a free SEO audit because Jen's awesome. And she's just so passionate. I can see like how much she gives back to you guys. So I wanted to be generous. And yeah, so the idea, and honestly, if you come to me in like a week and you're like, hey, I watched your live thing, and Jen's like, I'll give you the audit as well. But the idea is that you take action, you're here, you're ready to do it. And so yes, so just quickly, the SEO Season Society, it's the name of the membership. It's got a course that you get automatic access to as soon as you sign up. And that teaches you a 4-step SEO methodology. And then within the community space, you get the live Q&A calls, the community working and writing sessions. So we have like a working session actually in 2 weeks where we're going to be doing on-page SEO live together. So there's no way to avoid it because you're going to have us, everybody, and we're going to just be like, I'm going to teach. These working sessions are dynamic. So I teach a little, I show a little, and then we sit down and we do it. And I put a timer on my phone, and it's an hour. And in an hour, we get done, a lot. And then lastly, just this idea of accountability and ongoing SEO guidance. So I'm in the community space, I answer questions. And the idea is that you just pop in there when you need help, and then you pop out when you're doing other things. So it's just kind of enough for you to start to get that traction without getting super bogged down by all the information. And these are just some of the results I thought I'd share with our students, that they've gotten 82% increase in website clicks, 222 growth in website traffic from Google, and a 37% increase in the position. So it works. It's like, you don't need more information. You just need to take action. I think that's the biggest thing, is like a lot of people have all this information, but they don't do anything with it. So the idea is that this space just not only gives you the enough information, the right information based on where you're at, but then it's like, let's just do it, right? And so every month you have these opportunities, and yeah, we'll continue. Every month has like a theme. It's great. That's it. Oh, so good.
It has been mind-blowing. My analytic, I've doubled the traffic since I started working with you. So like it's been, and it's, dare I say, enjoyable? I don't know if I can say enjoyable with SEO, but it is. It's in a group setting, and it really has a feel for asking questions about us and our business, and you will like share your screen and you'll like explain it, and it just becomes understandable, and everyone else that watches it can learn just from the question that I have. So it's like, I have found it extraordinarily valuable. let me go ahead and ask, there's a couple questions that we
Sure.
have. And so for outdated blog posts that reference old promotions or deleted products, should I do a redirect or actually delete that post or product? The problem with 301 directs is that they can still show in a site search, but I always hear that it's bad to delete. And if I delete, how do I handle that?
It's a good question. Yeah, and this is tricky. So the first thing I recommend with old pages, old stuff, let's say, is to look at your data, because of course you're taking qualitative decisions like that page is not relevant to your business anymore. But looking at the data can be helpful, because, for example, if you're getting zero traffic to that website, to that page, then you can delete it super respectfully and be like, okay, it's not impacting anything. Like Google probably won't even see that page. If you are getting traffic to that page, and you feel like it's relevant traffic, sometimes not with products, but sometimes with certain pages that maybe you have like an old offering or something like that, I invite clients to explore, could we recycle this content and pivot it to something else? Or could we just put your newsletter? Like I have had coaches who are like, I used to talk about weight loss and now I don't talk about that, or, you know, something just like a huge pivot. And in some cases, the recommendation is like, you're getting a lot of traffic there, just leave it. Like, just change out the opt-in.
The information, take out the old product, take out the old offer and update it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if it's a product, something that you can do is you can just say to that person, or just recognize, hey, we don't, like, just have it on the page, this product is out of stock, or not, whatever the language, but we have other products that now we want to recommend, if there is, right?
Yes.
So you always want to think about the visitor, like how can you make that experience more helpful? And so if you're explaining to them, look, like we're just not doing that product anymore, and you can even have like text Y or whatever, a blog, you could write a blog and then have a link if they want to read that. But definitely look at your data first and then take a course of action based on that, because that's also going to change, it's going to change the action basically.
And if you get like 700 visitors a month and you maybe get one visitor in the month for that landing page, it probably would behoove you to just delete it at that point. Like if it's not as much traffic, right? If it's not like the top 5 to 10 landing pages and it's completely irrelevant, it's not going to
because Google looks at our sites as a whole, right? So I'm not recommending to keep a page that's like a black sheep and like totally random to everything else you're doing if you're doing a big pivot. But yeah, redirects aren't bad, but they can sometimes change things with our rankings. So if you're going to do a redirect, use it with caution. And like I said, just have, like, for example, I have clients who they only publish their Christmas content, for example, around Christmas. And so what we usually do, just to not lose ranking around those pages, is we just tell people, hey, the content isn't here yet. Like it's not Christmas yet. And so there's ways to kind of like
get on the email list and sign so that you're notified when Christmas comes out.
Exactly. Yeah. So especially if you're a product like an e-commerce site, there's different strategies you can take there, just around those kind of like more specific pages. So yeah, I hope that answers the question, but I'm happy to do.
She'll let me know if not. Okay. Do you recommend being organically on Google for shopping, or I'm not sure, Susan, if you want to put a little bit more description around that. Are you talking about, so she has homemade skincare products.
Yeah.
Do you recommend being organically on Google shopping, or are you saying, or to pay for ads? Is that your question, Susan? Let me know in the comments. And then there was another question, so she'll let me know and I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Does the free site audit that you're offering come with either the yearly or the monthly plan?
Yes, either plan.
I assume so, but I just wanted to verify.
Yeah. And Jen, share if you don't have it at hand, I have your affiliate link.
Yeah, I've got it. It's
you got
already.
It.
Yep, it's already on there.
Great.
So Susan said there is a paid Google Shopping and there's organic Google Shopping. So do you know much about what the difference is? And is it like worth it? Like, I personally don't believe it's worth paying for ads on Pinterest at this point in time in August of 2023. That could change. But I know some people are like, Instagram and Facebook ads are better than Google, or like, what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, so in general, the Google Shopping stuff is pretty new, right? So it's been around for maybe last year. Like, it's not, and so that's good for us to know too, because Google is experimenting with this stuff. And in terms of if it's better, I don't even necessarily feel like it needs to conflict each other. Like, you could do both. I think the question is more like, should I do the paid, right? Because you want to show up organically anyway. And if if you've got your categories in place for your products and your, all the SEO e-commerce stuff around the categories and tags and your product keywords and stuff, then you should be showing up as well. The thing with the ads is you want to look at who you're competing against. And this goes for organic as well, for product SEO, is really looking at like, am I competing against like an Amazon here? And in that case, it's just going to be very expensive. And I don't know how effective it's going to be. So I would say you could do both and just do some research around what your competition is and like what that cost is as well. And I'm not against paid ads. I think they can be effective, but sometimes for newer businesses, it's really expensive and they're not really getting a return. So, and even for bigger businesses too, right?
It's kind of like, I found too, you want to do all the work on SEO first.
Exactly. Yeah.
Before you decide to invest, because yeah. So Susan was saying, from what I understand, it could be time consuming to sign up for that organic Google Shopping. And so she was just wondering if you have an opinion on if it's really worth the time that it would take for it.
I think, all things are time consuming.
I'm always test.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, why don't you try with like a few of your top products, see how long it takes you, and then start to track results and then see how it goes. I feel like any free tool that Google gives us, just use it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's free.
When you have time, Susan, because she's very limited on time.
Right. So, I think you have to set your priorities. And I think I was just talking to a big client about this, is like, there's this perception that paid ads is just going to be faster and more profitable in the short run. Maybe, but you need to know how to do that from the beginning. So if you had an ads expert who you're paying as well, right? So you have to pay someone who knows what they're doing. Plus, but even ads experts, like the ones I've talked to, they talk about a 3 to 6 month ramp up rate. So there's even a time thing there. So I think the point isn't to overwhelm you guys. I think it's just, like I said in the presentation, set your priorities, right? And if you can slowly chip away at this Google products thing, I would. If I could use every tool Google gives us, I do that. And then later you can decide, do I want to invest in ads? When you're in a place where, I think when you're ready to invest in ads, it's like this place in your business where you're scaling, right? In many cases, but
yeah. And I think the organic ads would be a great place for testing. Like you were saying, Susan, it could be time consuming, but you can test it. And by getting good organically and utilizing SEO and keywords and all the things that you find work for that, then maybe around the holidays, it would behoove you to put a little bit of money behind it, because you've already figured out the keywords that work for you and you know kind of where to invest. And so she wanted to clarify the plans. She said, am I understanding your plans? Monthly is yearly 12 to 22, while yearly upfront is 880. Oh, so if you pay monthly,
it's 180. It should say 180. Or maybe you're
180,
getting a
but
discount.
so 180 times 12 would be $1,222.
Yeah.
Where if you pay the
A
yearly
year, you
upfront,
get a
you're
discount.
saving
Yes.
money.
Yeah, that's what
400, 500, somewhere in that
yeah.
range.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
exactly.
that would be accurate, Susan.
And there's a quarterly option, I believe, there as well. If you guys, one of you want like an in the middle.
Yeah.
Also, I think it has a discount as well, the quarterly. So,
And I think what's really valuable about the membership, in my opinion, is that, and of course, as you grow this, it will be a little harder, right? You have to pick maybe hot seats and things like that as there's more people. Right now, getting in on the groundwork or ground floor of this, there's between 2 and 5 people that are on these calls.
Yeah.
And you actually get the opportunity for a little bit of that one-on-one help, which of course helps everyone in the membership too, right? Because we all have pretty similar questions, but it's all around you and your business, which I personally find valuable. So Susan said the redirect question wasn't answered. And so I think and tell me if I'm wrong. But in terms of redirect and deleting, you recommend deleting if there's not much traffic going there. It doesn't make sense to have it.
If you have like, I don't know, 20 visits, I think it's all relative, right? Because if you're a brand new site, it's like 20 visits is a lot. Let's say if you look at all your site, like you know your site traffic. So I'm assuming you've like looked at your Google Analytics and you recognize how much of a low page is. So if it's got very little visits, whatever that's for you, you can delete it and have a redirect from that page to like your homepage or to a category page that's relevant. You could also do, like we just said, have like a page that recognizes that and you could have like a standard page, because if you delete products often, you could just have a page that says this product is no longer existing, but we have these are our top sellers, right? So that could be the redirect. And then if it does have traffic, we talked about all the other options. Like you could repurpose that page. You could do a more custom page with that same URL that talks about other relevant products or why you transformed it and that sort of thing. So the delete is only recommended if there's like very, very little traffic, because it shouldn't impact overall the rest of your SEO. Because the fear is just to like explain why, like the fear, like the worst case scenario, right, is that you delete that page, you're getting a lot of traffic. It's either like if you delete it and it's going to a 404 page, people leave your site. So you're like having that bounce, right? And that to Google says like, oh, that's not relevant anymore. And so you want to avoid that.
So it doesn't say that your whole website isn't relevant. It says that page isn't relevant, and they kind of turn off their eyeballs to that page.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So she was saying, She was saying, for example, I have a post talking about coupon codes for Black Friday sales from 2019, and she doesn't do Black Friday coupons anymore. She does a sale, but it's not a coupon situation. And she doesn't want people seeing that, or Google for that matter, because she doesn't want Google to like rank it in any way. So deleting it won't harm her website, because Black Friday doesn't really have to do with her homemade soap.
Right. I mean,
it doesn't get hardly any visitors on there.
Yeah. If it doesn't get any visitors, you could just do like a redirect to the main page, like your homepage. If you do have like a sale page, you could redirect them to that, because maybe they're more interested in sales.
But what's the problem with redirects? Because I know that there is some advice given that redirects can really mess things up with Google.
Yeah. So redirects, Google publicly says redirects are fine. But of course, SEOs we have all our other theories, our crazy alien theories, right? Because there's a lot of SEOs, not me, but that have time they just have experiments. Like there's this anyway, there's all sorts of SEOs, like there's all sort of Pinterest people, right? But there's a lot of SEOs that like do experiments. And so there's been experiments that have been done that show like pages that have been redirect, like lose ranking, right? So that's like the myth or the fear, right? However, sometimes we just have to redirect, like there's no other choice, right? Like you just want to take the visitor to a different page, like the situation, like that Black Friday, it's just not it's not real anymore. So again, if the page isn't getting that much traffic, doing the redirect is fine, because you're not risking a lot of traffic and you're not risking that ranking signal, right? So what we wouldn't want to do a redirect, or like the situation where a redirect isn't recommended, is you have a blog page or a product page that's doing really well, and we want to just like finicky with the URL, you know, like I just want to add like one little keyword in there, and so you redirect it to the new URL. Like, no, not worth it. Like leave the URL.
Yeah, okay.
That's where I've seen some clients who are like, I'm going to SEO my URL and add like one more keyword, and then they lose all this ranking because they did the redirect, and it was like, it was fine as it was. So, but that's not what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about a page, like an old page that's getting maybe some traffic. And if we could redirect it to a more relevant sales page or the home page, it should be fine. But you can also monitor, right? So with all these changes, what I recommend is taking note, having like an SEO diary, taking note of dates, and then like keeping an eye on the Search Console, right? And seeing, is this impacting maybe traffic or other things?
But a redirect is better than a 404 code at that point.
Yeah, 404 is ideal. It's not anything. We need to be constantly working on bringing down our 404s. Yeah.
All right. And then she was saying that, so like, these are the types of questions that we can ask if we join the membership. Like these are
and we can
perfect
go
examples.
And we can go in much more detail, right? So in the membership, I would
can share with you her thoughts.
Yeah, this is what we did with you, Jen, right? Like
yes,
you had a question all the time. All the time. Like you shared your Search Console. Jen's like, I'm ready. Jen's always ready, right? So she's like,
I'm on 8,000 questions. So let's start with these two.
And then we went through and we created a plan, right? And so the idea is to give you the thing is, like, I know about SEO, but the truth is I want you guys to learn from your own data. So I'm trying to teach you the skills to analyze your own experiments, right? Because there's so many nuances to this. And yes, I try and give you all the answers, and the idea is that I'm giving you all the good answers, but I also want you to be like, okay, let's get curious. What happens if I do this redirect, and how can I track these results, so that you build that confidence, right? And you start to get comfortable with looking at your SEO and your SEO data.
Well, and that's one thing that I've really learned from you in general over the whole time that I've been working with you, is that experiments are how we learn what's best for our SEO. Like, yeah, it's not going to harm our website, or you would tell us before we're taking a chance. So we have access to you to make sure that we're not doing something catastrophic, and we're getting that permission to try it and track it and see what happens.
Yeah, I think in all marketing, like no one, anybody who says they know everything, like run away as fast as you can, because we're all experimenting. And so this is more advanced. So I don't want to like scare the beginners who are like, I'm not ready to experiment. I just want to.
Well, no, I just want to know. That's what the course inside of the membership, that's what the course does. I went through the course, and then now I have all my questions.
So good.
Susan mentioned that she doesn't see a quarterly payment option. And so I wanted to tell you, because if you have that as an option, if you can update that, because then that would be great, because it sounds like Susan may be interested in joining. So
yes, it's on the sales page. Was she not able to get it, or?
Yeah, she says she doesn't see the payment option. So you went to the page.
Here, let me just share my screen again. I'll just share where it is. So this is so you have to load, obviously, Jen's affiliate here.
I think so I think the link that I have has SEO Season Society 880
I can just share this one with it because this is
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
I'll share it with you, Jen, and then
in the comments, and I'll share it with her.
Yeah, perfect.
And then if she signs up, we'll figure the rest of that out in the laundry.
Sure. Perfect.
Yeah, because I want to get you the link.
There's the stripe.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. All right. Any final questions, Susan? I know I have lots of people that will be watching later. They were very excited to know that there's going to be a replay, and I told them this will live in our Facebook group, so no fears there. So yeah, the course is in the society. The course is on the back end.
So once you sign up, I think you get the first email is like welcome, and then you get another email that also says welcome to Homegrown Traffic, because it's like a different set of emails. And then you get access to a module each week. And so the first module is setup, and then the second module goes into audience, market research for audience. And then the course, the membership, you get access to right away. So you can ask questions right away. We have, like I said, a working session coming up next Friday, which we're going to be doing on-page SEO. And then we have
she was asking when the live sessions are generally shared, and I would say that's Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, so they're usually Thursdays and Fridays.
And Fridays.
I do Wednesday. Yeah, this month I just published today. The date, but they're Thursdays and Fridays. Yeah,
and they're generally around 11, 12 Pacific.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right. Ish. Which for her, she's in Central, so that would be 1 to 3 o'clock ish.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, the one that's coming up in 2 weeks is 2 p.m. Central.
Okay, 2 p.m. Central. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for because I know your time is valuable, and I really appreciate you showing up for my group. This will live in our Facebook group, so you'll probably hear from people. And you guys definitely let me know if you sign up, so I can go ahead and message Cinthia and let her know to see if she can honor that SEO audit. Obviously, as we move farther away from today's date, it will be going away. So the sooner the better, for sure. And her SEO audits are incredible, so I highly recommend them. And this link just shows, she just shared the quarterly plan with you, but you have the annual plan and the monthly plan from the previous link. Hi Megan, you can rewatch the video. All right, thank you so much, Cinthia. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, you'll see me soon.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye.